Terry Cartwright has contacted me about a car that he purchased online. Now, after delivery, he changed his mind about the car and was informed by his wife that he could do this as he had what's called a cooling off period. So he got back in contact with the garage, said to them he wants to give the car back and have a refund, but the garage said no, citing to him that he had now fallen outside of the 14-day period in which he had to exercise his right under the cooling off period. Terry now asks me, is that right? Now, before I answer Terry's question, let me explain to you the law. Now, we call this the Consumer Contracts Regulations in short. It's got a longer name, but that's what most people refer to it as. And what this law says is that when you buy goods at a distance, and that means either you've purchased online or over the telephone or from anywhere that's not the trader's normal place of business. So in this case, anywhere that wasn't this car dealership's normal place where they sell cars would be classed as a distance sale. And that means this law, the Consumer Contracts Regulations, comes into play. And what the law says is that when you do make a distance sale, with the exception of some items like bespoke items and things like that, you will have a cooling off period of 14 days in which to change your mind, give the goods back, get a full refund. There's a few things you have to do, of course. You must notify them within 14 days. Largely, you must not have used the goods, or if you have, you must not have diminished their value, and you must then organise for those goods to be picked up or sent back within the next 14 days thereafter. So when you apply that to Terry's situation, it sounds like he's in trouble because he did go back on his own admission outside of 14 days. But there's a twist. There's a twist because the Consumer Contracts Regulations also say that the trader, here in Terry's case, the car dealership, must notify the consumer prior to them signing their contract or entering into the purchase of their rights under the Consumer Contracts Regulations. So under their cooling off period rights. Now here, that didn't happen. Terry was not aware that he had rights under the cooling off period until his wife told him. And when I asked him about it, he confirmed to me that at no time had he been told about this. And when this happens, the law jumps in and imposes a penalty on the trader, in this case on the car dealership. And that penalty is to extend the 14-day period in which you've got the right to reject the goods and get your money back to 12 months. So in Terry's case, even though he technically has fallen outside of the cooling off period rules, actually, because of the trader's failure to tell him about those rules, he now has 12 months, and therefore he can give that car back, he can get a full refund.